hello, YouTube! Ooh, I'm so excited. Why am I excited? Well, let's just say that this is the very first episode of a brand new series that we are going to be doing. By we, I mean me, myself, and I are going to be doing every Saturday, called Storytime Saturdays! Oh yeah, I'm so excited. I just recently thought of this idea of where I would either read stories to you guys, or I would react to animated story times, or I would react to people literally sitting in front of the camera telling a story or whatever. But yeah, that's basically what this series is about. I read stories, I react to stories, basically both of the above. So yeah, for this very first episode of Storytime Saturdays, I am going to be reading what's supposed to be a long but funny story. And I have no idea if it's actually going to be funny or not, so without further ado, let us go ahead and begin, shall we? Some years ago, I happened to be living on an old farm in OK. I restored the old 100-year-old hen house and started my own flock. Before I was done, I had 200 laying hens plus the roosters. Call me crazy, but when I was buying babies, I happened across a local bird breeder and got 2 female and 1 male turkey. About the same time, my girls had started laying eggs. A neighbor's teenage son helped me to build a hutch for the tiny wild rabbits I had rescued and raised. Evidently, sometime during the day, one of my turkey girls, Snoopy, was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Her middle toe was broken. It had to be those heavy work boots the boy was wearing. I noticed her standing in the middle of the yard, barely limping, when all the rest of the birds were herding themselves off to the house at dusk. I examined her and picked her up and carried her to the hen house. She couldn't jump up to the roost, so I held her while she got her balance. The next morning, all the birds came running out for breakfast, all but Turkey Girl. Realizing she was crippled with a painful toe, I lowered her down to the feed. Then later, she wasn't joining the crowd. Chasing around and grabbing for bugs, I picked her up and carried her over to the front yard so I could keep an eye on her. Every time she eyed a bug, before she could make it over to where that bug was, 10 chickens had already pounced on it. This broke my heart, and I decided to help her out. I went hunting. I came back with one of those huge grasshoppers in my fist. I held my fist out toward her, so she could see this little head peeking out, and said, "Gotcha one." She plucked it out of my fist. Pretty soon, my day was occupied with fetching grasshoppers for Turkey Girl. Each time, I'd call out to her, "Gotcha one." About the 3rd day, Mr. Bossman Rooster caught on to what I was doing, raced across the yard, and plucked that grasshopper out of my fist so fast I didn't even see it coming. Dirty rat. I went and got another one. Same thing. I went and got 2. With 1 in each fist, I managed to get one of them to Turkey Girl before he realized there was another one to have. Before long, I found myself strolling down the dirt road along these pecan trees and shrubs with a plastic bag collecting a whole slew of grasshoppers. The attack was on. Returning to the yard, not only Mr. Boss came running to meet me, so did 50 chickens, all determined to be first in line. I managed to get 5 of them into Turkey Girl. So there. One day I was about to block down that little dirt road, had collected a whole plastic bag of grasshoppers and decided to cut across the wheat field to the house. A shortcut. This was a huge, squared-off field of wheat. I climbed over the fence and started toward the house when something caught my eye. Just a few feet behind the house, something white flickered in the green carpet of wheat. I walked on. A few seconds later, I saw that flash of white again, but closer to me. I walked on. Then about half the way across the wheat field, I saw that flash of white again, but this time I recognized it. Mr. Boss! He was running through the wheat, then popping up, ever now and then, to get a lock on my location. Oh, no you don't! I couldn't believe my eyes. As he got closer, I raised the plastic bag full of grasshoppers high above my head. He caught up with me, and the whole rest of the trip, he was defending my treasure, holding it up where he couldn't reach, and him jumping up higher and higher as he went. I finally reached the yard, walked around to the front where the chickens were, and yelled out to Turkey Girl, "Gotcha one!" while I lowered the bag, only to discover it was empty. Ah! Now Turkey Girl stood before me anxiously, and I had nothing. I'll be right back. 2 weeks passed since her toe was broken, when I suddenly discovered one day that she had been feigning her wound. For how long? And they told me turkeys are stupid? Well, he got tricked. And he got tricked good. Yeah, that is kind of a funny story. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, that is gonna do it for Storytime Saturdays. This weekend, I should say, since it's not the week anymore. And if you guys want me to read more funny stories, or if you have any other stories in mind, or if you want me to react to any animated story times, or if you want me to react to other people's stories where they sit in front of a camera and then describe their stories, let me know in the comments below, and send me some stories that you want me to read. Follow my Twitter, my Instagram, my DeviantArt, and follow my Twitch. I post games on there. Well, not literally the games. I stream games. Yeah, I stream games there every once in a while. So please give me a follow so you can see my other game streams. And I will see you all next Saturday on Storytime Saturdays. Stay creative!